All right, guys, it is Olight sale time again, and two of the items that are up in the sale, the two that they're really kind of the two newest ones, the two that they sent me to show you anyway. They're different. They're different from what Olight has had in the past, and this, I mean, yes, they've had knives, they've had flashlights, but they're really kind of changing their designs a little bit. So we have a utility knife, a little utility knife, and then this is the most, I mean, I feel like kind of the most EDC friendly flashlight they've had, because this really is a little bit different in terms of shape, in terms of pocketability, we'll say, and it also gives you some pretty good light and everything. So anyway, this sale is going on right now. Like right now as you watch this video, and in the video description I'm gonna have direct links that they gave me, a link you can click right now to go to this guy, or a link you can click right now to go to this guy, or just a general link you can click to go to the sale itself, like right there in the video description. There's also a discount code that you can use, so if you want to get anything that's not part of the sale right now but still save 10% on it. So basically it works on everything that's not a sale item or the X9R. It's always not valid on the X9R, but it's all in the video description. So I think I want to start with the utility knife, and here's a little hint. I've actually opened these up before. I just have them packaged so you could see them, in box and everything. But what I did was I kind of, since I had them ahead of time, I tested them out a little bit. So we're gonna see this guy in the shop with me, just real brief. So we're gonna look at those two clips, just real brief little clips that we're gonna watch, and then we'll talk about some of the general features and stuff about it. All right, I'm in the shop, so it's gonna be loud, we know that, but I figured that is the perfect place to take a look at this, to check it out, and to actually put it through its paces and test it today. So new item from Olight, they have a utility knife. Should be relatively light, G10. The blade is SK2 steel. Now, I'm curious, before we even get into this, can you use any old utility blade, or do you have to buy special replacements? Because that could be a deal breaker right there, honestly. But come out and play. Oh, okay, blue figures, nice Olight blue. We've got, now is this, I'm assuming a steel because of the weight, a steel backing. It's a very nice stonewash finish. And of course, you've got a bottle opener. And this looks like it would hold bits in the back. And I'm thinking, yes, you do have to order special replacement blades because of those holes in it. Yeah. Now, those holes, obviously, are for the way it locks the blade in, which reminds me a lot of how the Mech Army EK12 that I used to have works. But it locks at various points, so, well, I won't say locks, but it's kind of like a, for lack of a better word, a utility knife slip joint. I like the weight on it. I like the feel on it. G10 has some nice texturing there, not too much, just a little bit, but it's got some jimping for you to hold on to, both top and bottom. So I guess, I don't know if I don't have bits on me right now to check if that does hold bits, but that could also go onto your key ring and little slot driver attachment there. So what I'm going to do, and this does look like, by the way, you have to, no, you don't have to, I was going to say it looks like you have to disassemble the whole thing to change the blade, but obviously not. You just unscrew that and put a new blade in. So the question is, how much are blades? And of course, I will, after doing all this, I'll research. The switch is nice, though. Spring-loaded there, so you can skip the clicks if you want. So I moved over to the work area because I'm actually going to use this thing. It is bumming me out. We actually have to buy replacement blades for it, but it is what it is. So I'm going to be using this throughout the day instead of the usual utility knives and things of that nature that we would use here. I'm going to be using it for some simple tasks, cutting some tape, cutting hydrographics films, opening boxes, stuff like that. It does have a nice feel in my hand. I did, by the way, tested. 1/4-inch bits fit very nicely in there. And this has a little bit of strength to pry with as well. So for today's task, just FYI, I'm going to be doing some hydrographics on this stock. So I'll be doing lots of tape cutting and film cutting and all sorts of stuff like that. So I will be not able to show you every little use of this thing, but I'll let you know how it feels and how it's running. So while this has been very comfortable to use, it has fit my hand very well and very maneuverable. You'll see that for some reason this blade, tape residue sticks to it a lot more than some of the other blades I've used. And I've had to actually get some acetone on a paper towel and clean it off repeatedly as I was cutting through all the tape and doing all the masking that I needed to do. So that's interesting, but it has fit in my hand very well, and I would, like I said, maneuver it around corners and around the parts I needed to mask off really, really well. So kind of one little weirdness with the blade there, but other than that, I've been enjoying using it at the shop. This little guy is going to be available in either the blue G10 or an OD green G10 for the sale and everything. I actually really do like this. It's been pretty handy. I think it goes for about $16.95. Now I didn't recognize this until someone else pointed it out, but it's like the shape of a lion. See that? Rawr. I actually used the bottle opener. I used the bottle opener finally. Yeah, it works pretty well as a bottle opener too. It is kind of a pain to have to get those very specific blades. Can't deny that, but it's kind of justified only by the fact that in order to have this little opening system where you have the lock, the halfway, and the open, you got to have those holes. You got to have those holes. So rather than make a proprietary blade, Olight found, a blade out there that has the right holes. So anyway, they're not that expensive. They're not any more expensive than, well, I shouldn't say that. There probably are some cheaper utility blades out there, but they're not that expensive. They're really not. So this has done pretty well for me in the shop over the last couple days, and I used it as recently as today, doing some hydrographics work on a small race car hood, actually. So it's pretty good. And what it doesn't suffer from is the Mech Army the Mech Army utility knife that I used to have, the smaller blade. I used to have to worry about this thing unscrewing all the time on its own as I was just carrying it around. This one does not do that, so pretty good. All right, now on to the Arkfeld. So I've had this out. I have a small clip just to show you kind of how well the laser does. Yeah, it's got a laser. So these things come in cool white and natural white. You can choose which one you want. I'm a cool white kind of fan. That's just me. But it gives you the option of using your white light or a small green laser. And this is the thing. It's a very different shape than Olight has given us before. So when I was talking about pocketability, pocket friendliness, this definitely is a little more pocket friendly shape for carrying around than the usual bigger, rounder Olight kind of shape. Comes in 4 different colors. Comes in a black, an OD green, a desert tan, and the blue. Very easy to switch between your white light and your laser. Right there, LED power indicator there. And of course the standard simple Olight magnetic charging, which I love. It's got a very firm clip. So this will fit in your pocket a little nicer and take up a little less room because of the flattened shape than some other stuff. It's rated for IPX7, so this thing can drop down into 1 meter of water. I'm not suggesting you do it, but you could if it had to. It'll throw light out to 101 meters. It's got a max brightness on turbo mode of 1000 lumens, and like most Olights have a anti-overheating circuit in it, so it'll do that for 4 minutes, and then it will go down to 30% of that, and then you've got 110 minutes on there without having to mess with it. And then on high mode, 300 lumens, you've got 126 minutes, and then it will automatically kick down to 20% of that, for 34 minutes. And then you also have a medium mode of 60, a low of 15, and a moonlight mode of 1 lumens. And it's, if you know Olight's functionality, it's pretty easy. So when it's off, if you hold it down for a second, you're going to get into that 1 lumen moonlight mode. If you just click it, you're going to turn on to whatever it's going to remember what your last used light mode was. Hold it down and you're going to start cycling through low, medium, high. Okay, now I'm going to double click. We should go to turbo. Yeah, and I can feel that heat coming off. So there's your 1000 lumens, and you can see it's a pretty decent light in your hand. It's very comfortable to hold too because of the shape. And now here's a strobe warning. Okay, triple click it and you got your strobe. So it's got kind of all the regular functions of a standard Olight in just sort of this slimmed down kind of package. Now this also gives you the laser function, which is just on or off. Doesn't really do. There it is. There it is. I don't know how it's coming out on camera. Now I have a little clip of just doing this in the shop, so you can see in a broad daylight, in an open kind of setting, how well that laser is visible. It actually shows up on the wall a lot better than showing up on this. Has got a very flat matte coating on it, but like just shining it on the wall here, it actually is a nice bright single dot. This diffuses it a little bit because of the background, but if we were to just say, yeah, there you go, there's a better view. Now, not everybody has a need to carry around a laser in their pocket, but, if you did, there it is. Oh yeah, 122 hours, max runtime. Whole thing is 3 ounces, well 3.07, but pretty lightweight and hard anodized finish. So, no removable battery. Can't take the battery out. So, there's that. The whole thing is it's just rechargeable, externally rechargeable by the little magnetic charging system, and then on each one there you have your man, I can't think of it. What is it? It's your light level, your whether it's cool white or hot white. I can't think off the top of my head. Your kelvins, that's what it is. That's why it's got a K. And as always, these things have serials and all that, so it's a decent little light. Off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly how much this costs, but it's in line with some of the other Olights of this size and this power range. What I like about it is that, let's face it, a lot of times you get a lot more power, light, and heat than you need in a little EDC sized pocket carryable light. So, I like this for the fact that it doesn't go too overboard. Very simple to use, very simple controls, and it's a nice, like I said before a couple times, pocketable shape. A couple cool new things from Olight, and then of course, like I said, there's that discount code in the video description. So anything else you want to pick up from their general catalog that's on there during the sale, you have that option. Now the sale doesn't go on for too long. I think it's just basically like you got like 24 to 36 hours to get in on this. So if you're looking to do that, get in on it. I personally am going to pick up a couple more of these. I definitely want an OD green one, but these are just very convenient. And when you get a refill package of these blades, you know, you get a bunch. So I really did like using this around the shop, and it just kind of feels comfortable in your hand, and I enjoy it. You guys decide if these are things that you might be interested in, and please use the links in the video description if they are something you're interested in. Go check them out. But otherwise, I'd be really curious to see what you guys think. Thanks to Olight for sending me a couple things to take a look at. Definitely will continue to use this, and we'll keep messing with this to see exactly if it holds up like some of their other stuff does too. So anyway, guys, remember that you are all absolutely awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.